Hi, ladies. Okay, Rachel Lee with Whole Women Health and the founder of The Shed. And I am here with Lucyann Murray because I want you to hear from a current two-time shedder about the program, about her experience with the program. And this is not curated, and this is not like I've given her like the what to say. I want her really to speak to all of you women who are out there and you are struggling with your health, you're struggling with your weight, you're struggling with your happiness, or maybe you're just not totally fulfilled. You know, like you just have this deep inner knowing that something is not right. You're not in your highest level and you don't know what to do about it. Or you've been told like, oh, we don't know, like you're fine, all your labs look normal, or we don't know why you can't lose weight, you should count calories, or I don't know, right? Like there's all this I don't know and this uncertainty and like, what do I do next? So I brought Lucyann on to talk to all of you because if there is ever a woman who has done the freaking work, it is Lucyann. Like the whole group of women are going so deep and they are really getting curious and about what is going on in their systems in place, but also they're willing to investigate even deeper with laboratory testing and work their protocol to change their health, right? To up level their health, to optimize their health. And Lucyann has been the one who we've found a lot of things. We have found a lot of things in this program that if we had not found them and she had tried to do this somewhere else that wasn't able from a functional medicine perspective identify this, she would have been in a world of hurt. I swear, I'm not even just making this up. Like it was not going in the right direction and we were able to quickly change it. So all that to say, Lucyann is here to talk to all of you and share her experience, her struggles, her wins, share all of it in hopes to inspire you to take action to up level your health, your well-being, your weight, your everything as a woman. So thank you so much, Lucyann. Welcome. Did I lead that off okay?
Yeah, I think so.
I tend to ramble a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so will you tell everybody why you decided to join the Shed in the first place? Like the January Shed was like the first kickoff of the year.
Yeah, sure. So there's definitely like a moment. And that moment it was actually my engagement party. And I came out of it and I had a really fun night with a lot of alcohol. And I came out the next week with the worst stomach pain. It was like ulcer level. And I thought I had an ulcer. But I was trying to self-medicate, giving myself probiotics, and it wasn't getting better. And I knew that if it was an ulcer, there was probably something deeper down because I never get ulcers. I reached out to Rachel, and the backstory to this was I had spent about probably the 2 years from COVID, like really honing in on my fitness and my calories. And I was really dedicated, or I thought I was, but I kept having self-doubt because nothing was changing. My weight wasn't changing. My performance wasn't changing. I wasn't becoming a faster runner. So I was frustrated. And then I was frustrated. And on top of that layered, I was now in pain. So that's what led me to reach out to Rachel. And it was because I have a really great friend who referred me.
And she's doing it with you too. And it's like, then you brought in your whole posse of women.
Yes.
You're like, if I'm doing this, we're all doing it together.
Yes.
Which actually, let's just talk about that. I didn't even put that in one of the questions is like, tell me about what has been the positive from having your people with you, and not just your people, but also this community of other shedders with you in this journey, in this experience?
I mean, it's totally elevated the experience. I think the one gift of having my people with me is that we had that trust. So we could really push each other when we saw someone not, behaving. If we wanted to give them coaching, we could give coaching on top of the coaching Rachel was giving. And I think that was really important for me. I mean, I ended up switching jobs midway through my first shed. Oh, yeah. And it was crazy.
Add that on there. That's no big deal whatsoever.
But I mean, I had that support network of people who were going through it with me, who understood who I was and who were able to push me beyond the bounds of where my brain was telling me my limits were, because that came up a lot. My brain was telling me there were a lot of limits in front of me. And I had these people who were like, you're making this up. And I was like, oh, okay.
Right. I love that one. Oh, you're just making this up. Yeah. Well, don't they always say, right, if you want to be at a higher level, start to spend time with individuals who are at that level?
Yeah.
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 That's right. That's what we do because we're a conglomerate of women who are all trying to up level. And so it's like,
Yeah.
that's just by osmosis, just being in the energy of that group. It's like, you want to be like them. You want to be at your best.
Yeah. And I think the really neat thing is like after we hit 90 days, we all kind of knew what to do, but where we all cycled was on the mental part. So it was no longer like the tips and tricks on like, how do you stick to your protocol? It's like, why aren't you sticking to your protocol? And we all tend to cycle in and out of it. So we can all help each other when some of us are out and the others are in.
Like this week, like you're like, I had a great 5 days. And then a couple of the other shedder was like, they were in the pit, like they were in the trenches. And you're just
Yeah.
like, all right, come on out. We're gonna help you. It's so fascinating how it always balances out. It's like the perfect relationship, right?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah. So so you've done the shed twice. So like you did the first 90 days, you realize, holy shit, this is not a 90-day program. This is like the next year is dedicated to me, right?
Yeah.
So you joined again. What's been the greatest gift so far from doing the shed through all of it?
I think the greatest gift has been taking the pressure off of me, because what we did in the first shed was we took out the variable of my decision making by clean eating. So what I doubted so deeply going in was I making the right decisions? And within the first 90 days, you take that decision out. And that was such a gift, because I'm no longer beating myself up for, oh, I need to eat like this fat instead of this fat, right? Like I know that there's something underlying going on now. And the greatest gift was finding that out. And I mean, there are a couple underlying things, and I'm still in the middle of those underlying things. So, but figuring out like what it is, how to fix that, and how to really work this holistic path to bettering my health before it hit a critical juncture where I couldn't reverse it.
Ooh, that was huge right there. Like hit a critical juncture before you couldn't reverse it, because that is disease.
Yeah.
The majority of disease are lifestyle driven. And I'm not saying you intentionally went out and got this, but it is a byproduct of something that was happening in our lives. Like, yeah, it will tip the scale. The body can only handle so much, and it will manifest as disease.
Yeah.
So you're getting ahead of it. That was amazing. And when you say like you had the data, so one, you reduced decision fatigue because we literally, right, like we hand you the model.
Yeah.
There's a whole booklet that we hand you. We're like, okay, week 1, week 2, week 3. And we do a food allergy sensitivity test on you. So it's even less decisions. Like, no, this is exactly how my body is responding. The cells in my body are responding to these foods. I know exactly what to do. Reduce decision fatigue, eliminate negotiation, totally drop confusion.
Yeah.
So much time spent there, mental energy. It's like, that's gone. So you can get busy doing.
Yeah. And I don't think anyone yet has told me that we can't fix it. So I think that's a really big gift.
Yes, the body can heal.
Yeah.
It truly can. When given the right environment and nutrients, the body will thrive. Yeah. What have you enjoyed the most? Can you have a rough road? So
I was actually talking to my little posse about this yesterday. I've really enjoyed the travel hacks. Like, how do you stick it to the man that you can eat your own food? So that's been the most fun. I now like have a big USPS box of packet tuna like sitting in the kitchen. and I used to hate packet tuna, but I found one I liked. And so now I can travel with it and eat it anywhere. I call it pocket tuna because I can put it in my pocket.
Oh my God.
So that's been the most fun.
So you've totally you've mastered travel, because a lot of you in the group are consultants and like you're starting to travel again and you have big lives, right? So
yeah.
you do travel. So it's like you have mastered the system.
I feel like it's a hack. I feel like I hacked
It's a hack. Yeah.
Yeah.
Airports, going to like business meetings, you do a lot of outdoor activities. It's like, how do you hack when you're out on a snowmobile for 8 hours in the middle of the woods? And you've done it.
Packet tuna, pocket
Packet
tuna.
tuna. You should be a blogger. Like, you need to blog about this. If anybody needs travel hacks, how to stay on your protocol, you're just going to reach out to Lucyann, okay? Via me. I'll get you there.
Yeah.
love that.
I was actually this weekend I was out with my little camping stove, like in a parking lot. It was pretty funny.
Isn't like that is really doing the work, right? Like,
Yeah.
seriously, we all say we want to do the work and we're really ready to do the work. But are you really ready to be the woman in the parking lot cooking her own food? And now, granted, there's a backstory to this, okay? So I don't never even has to be in the parking lot, but you went the extra mile. You know what you did? You were congruent. Your word and your actions were congruent. That's a really big deal these days.
And that's what led to a perfect week.
That's, oh my God.
It wasn't expectations. It wasn't results. It was just being congruent with my word and my actions.
And you had your perfect week.
Mm-hmm.
Come freaking on. Like, listen, right? Like, everybody just go back and watch that over and over and over and over again. Be impeccable with your word and your actions. Align them. You are congruent. You are then in integrity. And you had your perfect week. Oh, freaking awesome. Would you have ever done that before doing the shed?
Maybe, probably. but not to this extent, right? I mean, I think this is what we talked about is like, I'm really good at setting boundaries. And this was, so for everyone watching, this was a conversation we had in one of our coaching calls. We were like setting, communicating, and holding boundaries. I'm great at setting boundaries. I'm pretty good at communicating. Where I falter is holding them. But this was holding a boundary. So I was proud of myself for that. You're
right. That is definitely holding a boundary. And I do think that we struggle with boundaries, especially, I don't know if it's a woman thing or if it's a woman, man, I don't know. I'm not a man, so I can't say, but it's like the boundaries thing is a big deal, right? Because if we can't hold it with ourselves, we're not going to be able to hold it with other people. And I think boundaries are the greatest form of self-love. They're not, anyway, we could have a whole conversation there. Okay, so I know you have a lot of challenges in the shed, but I just want you to say what has been and a lot of wins, everybody. Okay. She just had some shit going on. So what has been the greatest challenge of the shed?
So I think the greatest challenge has been that I have felt pretty bad for about 100 days. And I set it up before, like movement is my therapy. And so I've had to figure out different ways of what that means. And I tend to be like, I want high intensity movement. I want to be doing extreme things. I want to be out there, like pushing my heart rate. And that was something I had to not do for a lot of months of this year. I had to not focus on training. I had to not focus on working out. I had to meet my body where it was at. And that's been really difficult, but also, I mean, empowering. Like I've spent more time with my horse that I own, and because I don't feel as pressured to go do like an Orange Theory before I go ride her. Like I can just meet my body where it's at and spend more time just paying attention to her. So that's what I've been struggling with.
Yeah, it's you had to make an identity shift.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you do,
because I'm not the person now that like is going to go work out at 5 a.m. before I go to a 7 a.m. work meeting, which was me. And like, that will be me again someday, but right now it can't be.
Yeah.
Because that is not what's best for me.
That's not what's best for your body right now. Definitely not. And the backstory, like through this process, right? Because we have access to functional labs, and Lucyann was willing to do these labs to go as deep as she possibly could to figure out root cause. We uncovered multiple health issues that were significantly causing her to significantly feel bad while she was detoxing and hold her weight and affect her hormones. So it's like, it's such a trifecta with women. It's your gut health, hormones, and food sensitivities. It's like those three tests are non-negotiable. Like we all have to do them. So you had to slow down your physical body in order to redirect that energy to the healing process. It forced it upon you. I mean, I guess you could have said, I'm not going to do it, but that's not you, right?
Yeah.
And so in order to do that, and I think for all of us, in order to become the next version of ourselves, we have to assume that identity. In order for you to become a healed woman, you had to create a new identity, become that healed woman. And then when you're healed, you're going to create a next identity to become whatever it is you have next on your agenda.
Yeah.
I love that. What have you learned about yourself that you didn't know before?
Yeah. I think that, I mean, that was one of them, right? Like my identity was to get things done. Like I defined myself by the person who got things done, but I was also like hitting this wall at the towards the time when we started the shed, right before I did my job shift, where I didn't want to be known as that anymore, but I wasn't quite shifting who I was to not be known as that. So I think Rachel actually recommended a really good book, and I've been thinking about it a lot, is reading Essentialism and really honing into what is my commitment. And for me, it's to create connections that provide for a regenerative future. I care a lot about sustainability. I'm really passionate about that. And instead of trying to be everything to be that one thing, really focusing on how do I be that one thing. And so this all folds into that. The shed folds into that. This is all a piece of being that thing.
Yes. Greg McKeown, Essentialism, right?
Yes.
Where's my book? I don't know where I put it. And I love what you said about like, you were always the one who was getting it done, because as we're seeing all the women who are in the program, they're the ones getting it done. Like they are pushing, striving, going hard. And what we heard on Monday, and I think with you too, is that the chronic pushing has pushed your body into having health conditions.
Yeah. Which I'm 31. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah. No, you don't want to be 31 and have all this stuff happening in your body. And like,
I still have like 7 competitive athlete careers ahead of me.
Yeah. So really it's like, in the master portion of the shed, there's going to be a whole course on prioritization and essentialism. And there has to be a decisional balance between doing it all and doing what is essential. And doing it all is going to wear you out. It's going to exhaust you. It's going to break your body down, and you're not going to have longevity. And becoming a woman who knows very clearly how to set her boundaries, to create the time and space to do what is most important, is essential to her well-being, right? That is when you're going to create your greatness. That is when you're going to have optimal health, optimal career, optimal relationships, optimal freaking everything.
Yeah.
How do you think you'll forever be changed after this? Because, right, you do the program and it's not like you do it and then you end and all the information's gone. Like, we are rewiring your brain and your body.
Well, I hope I forever kill all the little parasites in my gut. So I hope they're dead forever.
I'm just gonna say that one might, because you travel and you like have a horse. You might want to check in on that one every once a year at least.
All right. Yeah, I think the biggest thing I'm going to take out of this is trust in myself, and the sense of self-worth and self-trust, that I am capable to be limitless. And by becoming limitless, I must set limits.
Do you have that written down? Can you say that again?
Yeah. So I read it in Greg's book, but it's, in order to be limitless, you must set limits.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I'm going to totally use that in marketing, by the way. Like every woman needs to hear that. Every single
You might
woman.
want to attribute it our buddy Greg, but
I'll give Greg and you both props. Greg for winning it, Greg for like discovering it, writing it, and you for reinforcing it. That is huge. Limits. And you know what I just thought about in the sense of like health and well-being is like having our own limits, like implementing, like my limit is I'm not going to eat all that sugar and drink all that booze and not do my work. Like the limits, like what is your limit before we have to have limits, just like kids. What's the limit that you're going to implement for yourself to become the best version of yourself? I hate that best version of yourself, but like I love what's the limit?
But it's to do the things you love, right? Yes. Like I don't want to be stopped from doing the things I love. And I love going out and riding my mountain bike. I love going out, riding my snowmobile, riding my horse. And I want to continue to pursue those for the rest of my life and pursue new things to learn on top of those. And I don't want to be stopped because I chose to eat pizza.
Oh my God. Pizza over like doing the things that you love, riding your mountain bike, being on your, like, yes, you hear that, everybody? Right freaking there. That is it. That is what we're trying to do here. Okay, so what are you going to tell people, or what would you tell everybody who's watching, every woman out there who is watching, if they are watching this and they are not limitless and they are not optimizing their health or their weight or their careers, all of it as a whole woman, if you are not your version of a whole woman, what would you tell them about joining the shed?
Get prepared to drop all your expectations.
Told you that I did not prep her, and this is not a sales call. And everybody just logged off. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think that right when we first did this, we said, okay, well, we can lose weight in X amount of time. That's not going to happen for me. It's not. And the only thing that's going to happen if I'm not okay with it is I'm going to get more stressed out. Like no one else cares. It's not going to affect anyone next to me. It's only going to affect me if I'm not willing to meet my body where it's at. And so I think like I've set a lot of external expectations for myself. And I would argue that I have put me first in many ways, but I think what this program did for me is it said, hey, even though you put you first, you weren't put yourself first in the right ways. So and so it was the expectations of what I thought I was putting myself first at versus what I actually needed to put myself first at.
It's like the anti-diet, isn't it? Like almost the exact opposite of everything that you've been taught when it comes to like health and weight. But I think it's the most important thing is it's personalized. Like I found out what was wrong with me. I was never going to find that out by doing a keto diet, by doing like a traditional challenge, right? Because what I needed to know was not how to lose weight, but what was going on with my body that was preventing me from doing so. Yes.
So yes, like we incorporate many principles, like we don't eat gluten for the first month and like stuff like, so we incorporate principles of other diets, but the most important thing is that like, in order for a sustainable lifestyle, you should not be dieting all the time. And so in order to reach that healthy weight, you have to figure out why you're not there.
Woo. If you ever want a job in coaching, you totally got it here. No, but seriously, that's all the stuff that women want to hear. Like, maybe they don't want to hear it, okay? Or maybe society or the marketing and the Nooms and the Weight Watchers and the Stata Slims, and I just gave them all a plug because they all have their time and place, but they're not telling you this kind of stuff. But this is the core foundation. This is literally the walls of the basement that will hold up your entire house.
Well, everyone's so different. And I mean, I think that's what's so interesting between me and my posse, right? Like we have a lot of the same symptoms, but our underlying causes are all very different. So it's not like we could take a one size fits all approach for us, even though we were presenting the same issues.
Yes. Yes. You all came in with the same stuff. And this is the way it is, right? I've been doing this for 12 years. Every woman comes in with almost the same symptoms and, quite frankly, the same struggles and lifestyle. But you and Shedder number 1 and number 2, number 3, you all have your own individual things. And then we take that and we work on it within the container of this program with the other women, and then get your freaking mind around it, right? Because that's the piece of it. Is like, I could tell you, look at Lucyann, you've got this, this, and this, and this is how we're going to work at it. But unless your mind is on board, right? Your new identity is on board. It's not, you're not going to do it, or you're going to do it and it's just going to be messy and it's going to be a struggle and you're going to resist and you're going to fight and then you're going to quit.
Yeah, because I can tell you, if I was just going off how I felt for the last 100 days, I don't know what I would have done. Like it was a battle against myself to be okay with where I was at, because I was not getting benefits. I was not getting any benefits, but they're not short-term benefits. They're long-term benefits.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. There were plenty of conversations where you were like, you were on the edge of the cliff and I was like, oh, she might jump. Like she, and she doesn't have a parachute. Like she's like out of here.
It was really bad.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. I didn't have increased energy. I wasn't losing weight. I didn't feel like I was making mental strides. I was in a deep, deep hole.
Yes. Isn't that what I just said yesterday? Is that nobody tells you that the healing process is the worst, hardest part. Like it's almost easier just to kind of exist the way you were than to start walking through the river to get to the other side and be right in the middle of the full blown misery, the shit, right? It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I can walk away now and I'd still have no results to show. I would just be like, oh, did you lose any weight? No.
Yes, you did. You can't say you've not lost weight.
Okay,
I've looked at your data points.
I lost a lot of weight at the beginning and then it stopped for like 8 weeks. But my point was that like walking away would not have given me any better benefit than staying in it.
No, because everybody needs to hear this. Is like, you're losing weight. Okay, there's a line. There's weight loss and there's healing. And when you tell your body it has to do both, you're over stressing it, you're over pushing it, you're asking it to do things that like literally in the system, they don't work together. I mean, you might have these like inches lost, depending, right? Everybody's unique, depending on what the condition is. So like we were losing weight. We identified you've got this, this, and this. Now we got to start working on that healing protocol. And your body's like, hang on, weight loss, just sit down and wait your turn. I'm going to go heal her body over here. So once I'm up leveled and healed, then the weight loss is actually really, really easy. And it happens, but you have to go through the same amount of time as the healing process. They don't work well together. It's like a lot. It's just too much. It's like telling your 1-year-old, I would like you to walk, speak Mandarin, and ride a bike at the same time. You can't. There's no prodigy child out there that can do that. It's the same grace with your body. So patience is what I'm hearing.
Not my strongest virtue, because I get things done.
Because you get things done. Oh, so that's your greatest gift at the shed, is learning to have patience with your body, but still doing the work even when.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else you want women to know?
Trust the process. Have faith, I guess, and be okay with not being okay.
Ooh, be okay with not being okay. Trust the process. Do it.
That's what I've had to do. And like we talked about, I'm still in the middle. I'm not on the other side. So now for me, it's 100% a mental game.
Yeah. I feel like you've got another good 6 months in you to really get to like, all right, peace out, Rach. I'm good.
Yeah. I already, I've been talking to myself about that one.
You're already having conversations. Because then your next one is going to be like your wedding's coming up, and then, all the things.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this and sharing your story and being truthful and honest. I really appreciate it. I hope it's helpful for all the women out there. And I love having you in the program. You always step in. You're always the one to respond to people who are in struggle, or you are the travel hack master, right? Everybody's like, I'm traveling. What do I do? I call Lucyann. You're just like,
it's really fun once you figure it out.
I feel like you need to do a guide, a travel guide.
And you totally when you start telling work, no, I'm not going to do what you're giving me. It's kind of like we were talking about the rebellious little girl inside of everyone. That's a great way to feed your rebellious little girl.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God. I feel like she's like, yay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You are doing an amazing job. You're an inspiration. I love having you in the group. I hope you will stay with us if it's right for you, right? And your body needs it, because you're part of our family now. So I love it. So thanks for being here and helping other women make decisions. We kick off on May 9th. So if you are sitting on the fence, you literally we close registration on the 28th. Do not wait. Join the May 9th program. Commit to the next 90 days. Commit to the next year of changing your life, because that's what it's going to take. You've got to change your systems, your mental construct, your wiring, your brain, your foundation, your health. It all has to be kind of wiped out and then recreated. You just do. And that's awesome, because it's actually available to you. That's actually possible. So May 9th, we kick off. Do not miss the end of the registration. We close on April 28th. Put that in your calendar. Don't wait. Give me a call. Schedule time to have a conversation. See if it's right for you. Thank you so much, Lucyann. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Rachel.
Okay, bye.